Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, Warriors? How's it going? Glad to have you back. Terry, you've had a week, Terry. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I had my first infusion with Archivist. It went well. Everything went well. No side effects. I didn't grow an extra nose on my forehead, even though the nose I have does justice for two noses. But yeah, it went well, man. Everything's fine. The next day I was tired. You gave me the heads up of what I'm going to go through, and
Yeah,
I went through that. I get this is a half a dosage too, so we'll see what the full dosage does to me in about 6 months from now.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I really
Yeah.
am.
Thanks,
First
man.
of all, again, respect for taking that step and doing a DMT. Um, Speaking of DMTs, we have quite the guest joining us to chat today. Tell us a little bit about him.
Awesome. Yes. So talking about DMTs, he's been through a DMT. Well, do we consider that a DMT? I'm not sure. But yeah, he's been through something that is questioned by a lot of people. I almost want to say it's almost a controversial topic. I hate to say that because a lot of people don't think it is, but a lot of people has mixed feelings. And I'm so glad we have Lee Whittaker, who has gone through stem cell. And I believe and it's not about the stem cell. It's not about what he's gone through. It's about what he's going through right now. So I don't want to label him a stem cell warrior. You know what I mean? Even though he has a story. And I know he just finished stem cell 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Man, Lee Whittaker, Nick Lee Whittaker.
Hi,
Lee,
Nick.
welcome to the show. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
How are things in the UK?
Spring has started with things.
Does that mean it rains more or the rain just gets warmer?
It just rains more. You get everything out prepped for the summer, and then all of a sudden the grey clouds come and it just rains. So, and I've just got me little go ahead, so I can just go out for an hour a day or whatever. So it's a case of okie dokie, we call it. You put one leg in and one leg out, and it's anyway, is what it is like. So, but I've had a nice day today. So
I don't know if you heard that. He's in isolation, by the way. So he's not allowed to leave his home for how long?
Well, it all depends on the doctors and everything. I'm allowed to go out. I actually finished, what's it called again? Neutropenic. I went for my first blood test, and I'm actually out of neutropenia already. But obviously, that doesn't, stop you. You've still got a protocol to go to. So, but obviously, my diet has altered a bit. I can eat fresh vegetables now. I don't have to eat frozen vegetables, but I can go out and obviously there's a person protocol. Like obviously, I can't go near too close to people or anything. But I'm in my own isolation bubble with my son and my wife. You see.
Okay. So, fellow MS warrior, did you have first of all, how long have you been diagnosed? Let's start there.
Oh, my proper diagnosis was in 2021.
Okay.
My first episode was around 2004.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
was it just shrugged off back then?
Yeah, shrugged off, falling over. I had a ACL reconstruction, and they put my left leg drag down as injury to nerves and everything. So when I kept falling over, they were saying my foot wasn't reading the floor as I was walking. So that's where my name Clumsy Lee come from. Every time I used to go out with my friends and everything, I just thought, I'd be clipping the curb and, left leg drag. But I didn't know it was left leg drag back then, you see.
What was that word that you used?
What's that?
What do you say?
Clumsy Lee.
Oh, Clumsy Lee. Clumsy Lee.
Clumsy Lee, yeah. Just Daft Lee, basically. He always falls over. Obviously, if
Yeah.
I went out and had a beer with my mates,
Yeah.
I used to miss steps and just fall down and think, oh, he's drunk already. What it's like. It's
We know what it's like, man. Yeah.
yeah. It's just art, you know what I mean? But then you just get the tag of it. You just think it's normal life then.
Mhm.
So and then obviously was it 2000? I was away in 2008. I was fishing, and I got took really poorly, and I got brought. Went to the doctors and everything, and they give me steroids and whatever. But I was obviously one of my first big episodes because it stopped me, you know, for about 6 or 7 months, like, and then from then, what's the next one I wrote down? Yeah, and then in 2010, I had some business stuff happen. I was in depression, and I had my first episode. I went into hospital, and the diagnosis thought I had a minor stroke. So, looking back at it, now I've had all my MRIs. The neurosurgeon said I've never had a stroke, never had a bowel palsy, and all the other issues. And I was in 2021. I got my biggest episode. I went into hospital with a suspected brain tumor, basically. This was. Oh, do you want to go too fast, or?
It's okay. It's totally fine. I get it.
Yeah.
So what you said you had a big episode in 2021. What was the episode? Did you have a dizzy spell? Did you have what?
It started off in the November with it was diagnosed as labyrinthitis.
Vertigo.
Yeah. Well, and then they give me all the exercises to do and everything. It just kept getting worse and worse. And I tried to hold it out for Christmas Day because one of my friends lost somebody on Christmas Day and was coming to our house for Christmas dinner. So I tried to hang it out from there, and she come for Christmas dinner and says, "What the hell are you doing, Lee? You need to be in hospital." So got took into hospital, and then this is in the peak of COVID. So and then I had all the blood tests and everything, and then I went on pre-isolation ward, and before they let you go, take you into intensive care, and there's 6 beds in there, and there's people actually dying around me.
Wow.
So,
wow. And what were you thinking at that point? Were you like, I'm here because I'm one of these guys?
Yeah, I was talking to one of the guys in front of you. Don't know, because I thought I got a brain tumor. I didn't know what was up with me. This is suspected, at first analysis and everything. There's a guy, an Italian guy in front of me. I'm talking to him, but he's struggling. Yeah. Then they pull the curtains round you, open him, and he's gone. I said, "Oh, where's my Italian mate gone?" Like, I said, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry, he's passed."
No
Gone.
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then there's another guy in the corner who's really, really poorly. Curtains again, bed gone. I didn't bother asking this time, like. And then the next, they sedated me a little bit just because I was, poorly, but because I've not slept or anything. And then the next thing happens, opens a curtain, and there's this Afro-Caribbean girl there. I looked at her, I says, "Am I dead? Are you my angel?" And she says,
Wow.
No, Mr. Whittaker, we're moving you. So then I got moved into a room.
Yeah.
To be fair, I thought my family had paid for me to go private or something, but it wasn't. At the time, is COVID had actually got onto this ward. So they put us into isolation rooms. And that's where my luck changed, to be fair.
I completely forgot that he went through all this during COVID as well.
Yeah. And is that how it works in the UK? Can you pay for a private room?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can just go private, basically, like so. But obviously, I was unaware because it was COVID.
Sure.
Next thing I know is a neurologist has come in and seen me, Dr. Tui, and she says, "Look, Lee, I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm going to take over. It's obviously this is through Christmas as well." She says, "I want to get you done so I can have New Year." So she says, but she was dedicated to me because of my COVID, and she was the only one to come and see me, you see. So she was solely dedicated. And then within the 2 days, she had me MRI, everything done, all the lumbar punctures. And then she come and sat on my bed and says, "Oh no!" In between this, I got confirmation that I didn't have COVID because I was on COVID tests every day. She come and sat on my bed. She said, and held my hand. She says, "You had never had a brain tumor. You've not got you've never had a stroke. You've got a thing called MS. I'll let you digest that. You Google it on your phone, and then."
Oh my God, she said to Google it. That's
when
funny.
Yeah, but I was on my own in a room, you see.
Yeah.
And then she come back the next day with to get me right. But obviously, I wasn't walking, or I was talking with this.
Yeah, totally get it. Have you heard of MS before she told you about it?
No.
No, you're just like me. Okay, cool. So that must have scared you.
I heard about it, but you thought it's like, well, you think you're gonna die, don't you? So you think, oh, your life ended.
I was in denial. I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna get through this. I didn't really know, but
Well,
so
I didn't have a clue.
that that you mentioned, is that
Yeah.
the neurologist that signed the shirt that you're wearing right now?
No, this is from Dr. Ruse, who did the HSCT in Mexico. He's Professor Ruse, basically. So
Is he well known? If you say that name, you think a lot of
oh,
people know him?
he's in the top 3 in the world.
Okay, so this is just my ignorance. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
you got Dr. Burt, Dr. Ruse, and Dr. Fedorenko in Russia. They're your main guys who do HSCT.
Okay,
All right.
thank
So,
you.
So you're relieved you didn't have COVID.
yeah,
You're relieved you didn't have a brain tumor,
yeah,
and you're scared to death because now you have this thing you've never heard of before.
yeah. And I've got to tell my family.
Right. And how did they receive that? How did that go?
Shock.
Sure.
They, yeah, it was a case of, tears, emotion. What is it? So obviously my wife starts researching it as fast as she can, and then it was a case of getting me home. Then, so obviously I was paralysed down one side, my speech was slurred, and I was just everywhere. I was a mess, to be fair. So, and then I left in. They gave me steroids. I left in a wheelchair, got brought home and put in bed, and that was it.
So from when you were diagnosed, within 2-3 years, you went and did stem cell.
Yeah. I was diagnosed in. I was actually diagnosed. I think it was about what was it? Was it the?
But I mean,
It was about the 26th or 20. No, about the 29th of December. I left hospital on the 1st of January.
who suggested stem cell?
Who suggested stem cell?
Yes,
Well,
like it was obviously.
what happened was I went into. I've had a right bust up with the NHS in England. I went. The story is right. Is from then I spoke. I'm a fisherman, and my life revolves around fishing and angling, and that's my life. First thing I do is ring up my syndicate, Paul Ward, the Grenville, which is in England. It's the best ticket in the world. It's my second home. I said to Paul, I'm never ever going to be able to fish ever again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So then he's got upset. Goes and sees a man called Paul Bacon, who's one of my friends. Says, you never guess what happened. Which got multiple sclerosis. He's never going to be able to fish again. Paul Bacon rings me. Says, before you do anything, you need to speak to a guy called Mark Watson. And he said, he's got MS. I says, he can't have MS. He's an open water swimmer and everything. He said, speak to him. So I spoke to Mark Watson. He says, look, Lee, I'm going to give you, this is all down to your own choice. He said, I'm going to give you 2 names to look at, Dr. Terry Walls and Matthew Embry. Look at them guys and make your own mind up. So obviously me and my missus will research it and everything, look at Terry Walls, look at Matthew Embry, contact him. And Terry Walls just seemed to be a bit more money, or not more, it don't sound rude, but she's a good lady and everything, but a bit more money orientated. Matthew, he just says, here's the information, it's free. Do what you want, do what you want with it. So give me all the information. And I watched the film Living Proof and made my own mind up for, right, we'll try. I've got nothing to lose. But at this point, I've been totally ghosted by the NHS in England. They're not getting knocked back to me or anything. Left at home in bed, just all alone, getting no help whatsoever. But part of that is because of COVID.
So
Yeah.
obviously, Nick, you know who Mark Embry is. He's really known.
Matthew
Embry.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Matthew Embry.
And then of course, Dr. Terry Walls.
Terry
yeah.
Walls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're huge in North America. So I'm sure a lot of our listeners.
Yeah.
I got a question. Is the stem cell the first medication they asked you to go on, or medication?
No. I went to see me actual neurologist. This was 4 months after. I walks into the hospital. And I goes to reception to the MS nurse. I says, Lee Whittaker. Says, do you want to wheel him through? I said, no, I am Lee Whittaker. She said, you can't be. I says, I am. And she says, wow. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I went and seen, I'm not going to name names because we've had a right big bust up. Went to see her with my wife, gets in the room. First thing she said to me, I'm not bothered what you've been doing to get to this stage. I mean, by this stage, I'd lost about 7 stone in weight, which is, I don't know,
140 pounds. Remember you told me this, and I converted it.
That's total in weight I've lost. But obviously, after 4 months, I've lost about 6 or 7 stone.
Oh, sorry. So that's okay. Go ahead.
I was walking again, talking again, and when I left hospital the first time, I had an EDS of 6.5. I've gone to see her and I had an EDS of about two or three or something like that. Or about three, she said, whatever. And she says, I'm not bothered what you've done. She says, oh, you've got to go on this DMT straight away. And I says, you've got no interest of what I've done to myself to get like this. I'm doing the best I've ever done. She said, no, you've got 1 month to decide, or you're never going to get it, and you're not basically die, but if you don't have it, you're going to be withdrawn and you never get it. So I've come out, and my missus was upset. She says, well, it's just like holding a gun to your head.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so from there, we've gone. I've come out, and the MS nurse said to me, "Look, Lee, whatever she said, the drug will always be on there as a safety net for you. Whatever you're doing, carry on. Because look at you. I'm amazed in what you've done, and your success, basically. So I left there.
And what was the drug did you decide on? Or
I didn't
did you
have a
not
drug.
decide?
No, the drug
Oh,
was
you
no the
said no,
best
thanks.
best bet. No, thank you. I'm happy with what I'm doing. So
Okay.
obviously, I researched into drugs and seen that
Sure.
basically everybody who's been on them, they work for so long, and then you got your side effects. At this point, I think I'm getting as healthy as possible, no side effects. Look, feeling good, feeling the best I've ever felt in 20 years, and thinking, go on a drug, which is going to give me side effects, make me feel poorly, probably might work, might not work. What have I got to lose by staying on the diet? So, which I
So
did.
yeah, I know you told me earlier that you are dairy free and your nutrition's on key. This was before you started the stem cell, right? This is you bettering your
Oh
own
yeah, yeah,
life.
yeah. I started the best bet diet
Okay.
um, the day after speaking to Matthew Embry.
Okay. You spoke to him personally?
Oh no, this is via emails and,
Okay.
stuff
Yes.
like so. And then obviously he did does his live chats and everything. But
Hmm.
also you can email him and his father and text him and they're straight back to you straight away like so. But Dr. Ashton, you can ask him. He's a researcher. You can ask him anything. He researched it and tells you basically. But he just gives you advice. He doesn't, you know, he just give he don't tell you what to do, but he just gives you
Hmm.
the advice that this is what would happen. This is what you can and can't do. It's up to you how you use it, basically.
Yeah.
So, but everything I'd used had been perfect. So,
And right now, people can't see you, but you don't have hair. But you did have
no,
hair in all these Instagram posts I've seen.
yeah,
So is this because of the chemo from stem cell?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so all from the stem cell.
Okay.
Four batches of chemo, and then it's five steps of chemo with the HSCT, and then that's it. Like so,
That's no easy procedure, man.
I, it's no, yeah. I mean, the only thing I had through it was I got a UTI, sorry,
Mhm.
which called, what's it called? I forgot what it's called now. What's that? Cystitis.
Mm.
I got cystitis of the bowel, not the bowel, the not intestine either. Got cystitis, and I started to. It just hurt me to wee basically. So, but I went on to antibiotics, but my
Mm.
body was that fit. They had to up my antibiotics again, like so.
Okay. So with it not being an approved method here in the States,
Yeah,
there's not a lot of people that are familiar or have even heard firsthand accounts from someone who has gone through it.
yeah.
So if you wouldn't mind stepping us through after you've made the decision, how do you even go about getting it to the front door where you're going to get the stem cell?
Can I just roll back a bit first?
Yeah, roll
Yeah,
it
'cause
back, please.
obviously, I went to see me the neurologist who I don't get on with.
Okay.
I've come out of there, and my MS nurse says, "Look, you're doing really well, Lee. Your EDS is getting lower, lower. There's a thing called the STAR trial for HSCT." So I looked into it, and I said, "Yeah, okay, then I'll get I'll look into that." Well, there's no way of me doing the drug arm of it. So I went into the STAR trial in the UK. I did all the tests and everything. I mean, this is really in depth, in depth tests on your body for about 6 or 7 weeks. And then at the end of that is I knew that everything was okay, but I possibly got smouldering MS.
Oh yeah, that's the new term. Yep.
From years and years of damage. And Dr. Lee Whittaker says if anybody, you're perfect to get the HSCT. Your diet, exercise, your routine, your fitness, and it's a real high possibility, even though your age, of it being successful. So obviously that gets me focused. But I said to him, "There's no way I'm going on the drug arm." Says, "Well, you've got to be randomised anyway." So it went to randomisation. Me and another person. I now know who the other person was Sarah, who got it. I got randomised to the drug arm. I says, "There's no way I'm doing that." I said, "No." Okay. Handed back to the NHS with the recommendation that I got it. They said that I've got to go on a DMT and fail it twice, which would probably disable me forever. You know what I mean? And then they'll give it me. So then I paid private to go and see the head neurologist in the UK, which cost me a load of dough. Went and seen him, Dr. Ben Turner. I said to him, I want the HSCT. Can I get it on the NHS under recommendation? He says, no, because you've walked off the STAR trial. There's no way of you getting it. And then said, oh, can I get it private in the UK then? He says, no, because you've walked off the stem cell trial. I won't recommend you for it private in the UK. And he's on the board of transplant. Absolutely rubbish. So I'm thinking, what do I do now? And then obviously, speaking to Matthew Embry, he says in November, there's actually a world convention. Go and have a look at that and make your own mind up. So went to the AMS charity summit. There's Dr. Burt there, Dr. Ruse, and I spoke to Dr. Burt. Obviously he's set up a new hospital in America, or whatever, and he's obviously very hard to get. He hasn't got the time. He probably has got the time, but he hasn't, got the slots. So the only other person, Doctor couldn't get to Russia because of the war that's going on. So you got flying to Turkey, flying to Russia, and I thought that's a big no. Spoke to Dr. Ruse. He says, look, when do you want to come? I said March. He says, well, I'll see you in March then. That was it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but March was all planned around school holidays and my family. And that was it. Because obviously me and my wife had to go to Mexico for 4 to 5 weeks. Got a 10-year-old or 12-year-old son, need home, care for him. And when I planned it, so the 4 weeks ends. And then when we come back, my son's off school for 2 weeks because of the Easter holidays. So that's it. And
how long did the whole procedure take?
28 days.
28 days. Okay.
Yeah, I was the first to leave. So, and then everybody left 1 or 2 days after me. So
that's amazing. So you land in Mexico. You're there. You're ready. You have everything in order. So you walk through the door and just, is it just like you just go through chemo and then lay in bed and rest? And how does it work?
So we get there. Obviously, I'm nervous as hell. And then, to be fair, as soon as we picked up at the airport, drove to the hospital, and then soon as I seen the doctor and the nurses, it's like everything went straight away. And it's like, right, it was started off, you have to have all the physical tests, have to have another MRI scan. And before my MRI scans in 2021, 3 lesions on my spine, 1 at the base of my spine. My head looked like it'd been shot with a shotgun, 2 big ones with a lot of splatter. Yep. Through the STAR trial, which was 2022, my lesions have reduced in the spine and on my back, and on my brain. All the little ones were fading and the big ones had shrank. 2024, my spine completely gone. My base of my brain completely gone. All the little splatters in my brain completely gone. Just the big lesions, but smaller. And that's it. So, and that was on the MRI in Mexico. Then I had my tests on my lungs, my heart, my everything. Everything. It says your body is absolutely perfect. And that was by the heart, who do your heart, all your body and everything. I had X-rays of my lungs, obviously the full MRI, all my blood tests, and they said, you're really, really, really in good condition. So to be fair, the chemo, absolutely. I didn't even know. My wife will tell you now, she didn't know. You couldn't tell I was having chemo. apart from I got a UTI. So, but that was obviously from the chemo, and that in my bladder, it damaged the wall in my bladder. So I was weeing blood. It sounds bad. It sounds worse than what it was. It was more like weeing needles and stuff. They put me on antibiotics for 2 days. They wasn't working, but they said the body is that strong, but that a good condition. We're gonna have to up the rate. 2 days later, UTI completely gone. Did the other two bits of kick, other two, but you got to think. I did the other. You got. I'm doing all this with 6 other people, and I'm like fit as fiddle going right. You know what I mean? Everybody's up and down. You do get. I will say you do get tired with the chemo, but it's not. It's not like it really affected me or anything. So, and then had the chemo. When they're harvesting your blood cells, they give you injections, right? So everybody else's stem cells, you have to have like so many thousand to get it, and mine's sticking at 100. And they say because the drug, but obviously they're giving you drugs. The drugs are giving me on my body size, your random size, your random size. Everything's done to calculation your body mass and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
Body's that strong. It says, so they up the rate to get me stem cells out, as quick like. So then I got dropped from group 1 to group 3, and then I went in with Hazel, who's now my stem cell sister. And then on the 19th, we was having saying, who's going to be? I'm going to be am I going to be older brother? Are you going to be my older sister? Says, well, anyway, I was my last stem cell went in at 11:15 on the 19th. Hers went in on the at 11:30. So I'm her older brother. So,
nice.
So that's how that worked.
What a great connection.
Yeah. So then obviously that, and then they're doing your tests, blood tests and everything. Then we had the last, was it rituximab? Whatever the last chemo is, rituximab or something like that. Had that. Then they did me blood tests again, and I was the first to leave. So, but I put everything on my social media because I come out of the bus and everything, and then everyone's like, Rick, that's why I got so emotional. You put your pin in the board, and it's like, wow, that's it, me done.
Do you have footage of that? You putting the pin on the board?
Yeah, it's all on my social media.
I need to see that. Dude, you have so many posts. I have to scroll down for half an hour to go to the bottom post.
But I think I'm in isolation board at home. I've got nothing to do. It's
I get it, man. I get it.
I'm not working or anything. It's a bit. I just need something to do, like so. But obviously, after it all, I've noticed my brain fog's lifted, and I'm absolutely sharp as a devil, and my stammer's gone. I'm on a bit rapid, like, but it's gone. It's not as bad, like so.
I have fog, so let's not talk about that. But okay,
I've still got minor fog, but it's not.
I hear you.
But I can pull it out now.
That's cool. So okay, stem cell is done. Now what? Do you have to just always check up on your blood work?
Yeah, my blood work's done now. I've been for my first blood work. I'm out of neutropenia, obviously, which surprised me. And then so obviously sent that to my doctors in Mexico, in England as well. I said, you're out of neutropenia. Right, so now we want you back in 2 weeks to check you for Epstein-Barr. See, that's not been regenerated. Because obviously, and then that'll be done in 2 weeks. Other 2 weeks after that, I have another blood test. And then it's basically counting. And then once that's done it's about 6 months. And then you basically start your inoculations again, like so. But you're like reborn. You're basically reborn again from your stem cells going in.
Wow. How do you? And the big question is, how do you feel?
I feel amazing. I feel. I know this is not. I feel a bit guilty because obviously I speak to other people and they are improving. But it's like me. The day I had my stem cells, that night, the very first night, I don't know if you get this. You don't dream as much as you used to do. Yeah, I've gone in and I've had the most vividest dream then I can remember. The next day, I rang my sister and said, "Look, Lynn, I've had a dream at a caravan at Chapel St Leonard's, and I was about 4 years old." As the detail was, I went down to the beach, went down to the old rock pools and everything. I got 4 crabs. a yellow bucket with a white handle, but I didn't know this was my favourite bucket. Gone and put it under there, and I says, I got me's. There wasn't denim. There was like lycra, 1970s, but they looked like denim shorts. She says, how can you remember that? So, but that was with my cousin Adele. So,
Wow.
and then that was the start of it, and then obviously from then I'm getting. It's just my memories coming back to me. You know, it's like going back just little bits and bobs from when I've been. All good things that's happened. It's not bad things either. It's all good things I'm remembering, not bad things. So,
Do you find that people, there was someone that went and did a procedure out of town, and when they came back, I went to them and I said, "Hey, how do you feel after that procedure?" And they got upset at me because they were assuming that I was using them as a guinea pig. It's like, "Hey,
yeah.
how you feeling?" So do you feel insulted when people come up to you and say, "Okay, you've done the stem cell, how do you feel?" Because people want to know.
What saved my life is people reaching out. Yeah, everybody from me. You know, Matthew, Dr. Gresham, Angie, Galsa, whatever her name is, who's the thingy. Sharon Waltho, my acupuncture and my well-being coach, and then Talia Holber or whatever her name is. She's just she just motivates you. Come on, you can do it. You know what I mean? And then I've just surrounded me. I don't want to sound this rude, like, but I've got rid of all the negative people in my life and surrounded myself with love, putting positivity.
Man,
That's the name of the game. Yeah.
that's the story of everyone's life right now.
Yeah, that's what I can recommend to you. You get rid of that.
Yeah.
What I say to everybody, you're on your track. If they want to hop on, they've got to, you know, if they don't want to be kicked off, they've got to be on your, you know, it's a selfish life, but it's my life. So
Yeah. Whenever I say selfish, someone always tells me it's self-love.
yeah, self-love.
Care
Yeah.
yourself, you know.
I've made myself priority in my life. Me being priority in my own life benefits my wife, my son, and everybody who wants to be in my life. You know what I mean? Anybody who don't want to jump on board, fair enough. This is my life. If you want to come involved, this is the rules.
You have one son,
One son, yeah,
and he understands what you're going through
totally.
because you told me he was 12. Is that what you said?
12, yeah, 12 going on 37.
And he totally understands. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's a very, obviously we're old parent, not old parent, but we are old parents. So
Whatever.
we had him late and everything, but he's a good, he's a well-grounded kid. He's not
Nice.
your average. He's not your average 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Good to hear. We need more of that in the world, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Good kid. So, well, been out today, and he's took my camera. We've been out, and I've just posted it on my social media. I've just gone to my camera because he wants the pictures off it, and unbelievable some of the pictures. So,
Oh, I can't wait to see him.
yeah.
Does he go fishing with you?
No, he hates fishing. He loves nature, hates fishing, football, loves music and acting. He was an actor anyway, actor and music. You can probably see that from the background here. So
Yeah.
he's got his piano, guitar,
Nice.
and he's an actor as well. Like so,
Awesome.
So let me ask you this question. Having gone through it, why do you think HSCT is so controversial? Like, why do you think people are making more of a big deal out of it, or?
Why? I can tell you straight away. Drug companies, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. HSCT. So let's say in the dollars, yeah. Was it $55,000? Yeah. Plus your air flights and whatever together. But we'll just say raw cost $55,000. Drugs a year, I think in America it's about 90,000 a year. So you got a one-off cost of $55,000 or $90,000 a year. You know, you're more beneficial to be ill than you are better. So
From that perspective, I would agree with that.
yeah. Again, until when it doesn't work for everybody. What I'm saying is you look, and you look at the percentages. I'll give you a thing: is you need to look at Dr. Bart, yeah, and his everyday miracles. It tells it as it is.
Can you spell his name or just say it one more time?
Dr. Burt, Dr. Richard Burt.
Richard Burt?
Yeah, Burt.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's everyday miracles. Yeah.
So do you like, I've heard you just say it, you've accepted it doesn't work on everybody, stem cell?
Well, no, it doesn't work. But it works. If you got RRMS,
Yeah.
It works on 80% of people. So,
Okay.
but then your
Blue.
drugs, the drugs. You know your drugs. I think it's 2 years. That's when they do the stats for. After the 2 years, they drop off a cliff edge. So that's why they're only research. Your stats only cover for 2 years. You've got no one wants to accept the HSCT. There's Mexico's got 20 years basically with all the stats.
Wow. Yeah, and that's true. I am 10 years into my diagnosis and I am on my fifth DMT.
DMT. Yeah,
Yeah, fifth
yeah,
one.
yeah. Has any of them worked?
The last four haven't. That's why I'm on number five.
Exactly. Get yourself. I'll be honest with you. Get yourself HSCT as quick as you can, kid.
Okay, hold on. I can't do HSCT. They might not approve me, even though I was approved
Why?
when
What?
I was.
What?
I don't know exactly, man. We're gonna get into some controversial topics here. I was
Yeah,
accepted to do stem cell, but in Jordan, in the Middle East. Don't ask me
yeah,
why, how I got accepted, but I wouldn't do it, man. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to be stuck there for 6 weeks.
yeah.
I wasn't comfortable with it. What do you think of the fact
I,
that I'm on Ocrevus right now, or Ocrevus, so however hell you want to pronounce
I,
it?
if it's right for you, is it's right for you. I'm never going to say to you, no, take a drug or anything. But obviously, you've got for myself personally is just have a look at the people, just do your research of the people who have had HSCT and look. I mean, how old are you? 51? Was it 40? I can't
Close,
remember.
whatever. I'm 43, but it doesn't matter.
40,
Um,
sorry, yeah,
no,
sorry.
I don't care, man.
You,
Really,
you,
I feel
you,
like I'm
you,
72, so it's all
you,
good.
you just had a bad paper ad. I mean,
Oh my God.
uh,
I haven't
so,
heard that in forever.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, hey. So anyway, is have a look, do your research. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I, I
43.
was I wasn't on meds for like 9 years.
Yeah,
I don't want to say I was against it, but I was like I changed my nutrition just like you, dairy
yeah,
free, the whole,
yeah,
9 yards. But then I just did an MRI and my doctor freaked me out, my neurologist.
yeah. Again. Oh, you're gonna die. Look at all this bad stuff and it's
Ah,
happened to you. And we've all been there. Yeah, it's like you do it or you're gonna gun to your head. Yeah, because to be fair, is they're controlled by the drug companies. Yeah, it's a £1 billion industry with all the jobs that's linked to it. So then you get like something like HSCT comes along. It's like, well, you can see why everything's all the jobs and infrastructure behind it. I can understand why, but it's like, but if you do your obviously I've done my research. I mean, touch wood, everything goes right, and
mhm.
um, but and then it's like with unofficially with a good diet, HSCT, you stand the best chance. It's the nearest thing there is, you know, without the. Also, what's happening in the background is myelin regeneration, which has just gone into human trial, which comes out hopefully around 6 years' time. So if we can get through to 6 years of the myelin regeneration into us,
But
that's you sorted.
isn't that the slowest process ever
What's that?
for your cell to rejuvenate? Uh,
Myelin
for it to,
regeneration.
yeah, isn't that a slow process? Like it does it naturally without any medication.
Yeah, no, but the medication for it's the new cell regeneration
Hmm.
is this scientific stuff happening. I don't exactly know what it is, but I think it was inject you in the brain, and I think there's in Oxford University have started it, and then that starts to regenerate. It's cells basically. It's like stem cells regenerating
Yeah.
your myelin and
Yeah, myelin. Yeah.
yeah, or something along that. I'm not an expert in this at all.
No,
It's
no,
just
no,
Yeah,
dude,
no,
you're a
it's
little more
okay.
than me, so don't worry. Yeah.
it's just what you hear at the conferences and everything is like it's gone into human trial. So they're looking hopefully around 6 years. There might be stuff in the human trial thinking, oh, it's not ethical, whatever, and it gets knocked on the head like so. But one thing we all have to have is hope. So
That's very true.
what is to say? But I can tell you now is everyone thinks my biggest fear is my doctors in the UK said you're going to a third world country and you're going to go to the worst facilities in the world. I can tell you now, I've been in private facilities in the UK. That hospital in Pabella is one of the best, most modern I've ever been in my work ever. It's unbelievable. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when I say unbelievable, unbelievable.
Did you
So
make friends and family at that hospital?
oh, I did. Yeah, I'm friends with the doctor, Dr. Van, the nurses. I speak to them all now. So they're all. To be
Oh yeah,
fair, I'm a bit of a character. Do you know what I mean? So I'm there, and it's like, here we
yeah.
go. Here's Crazy Lee. Get in your wheelchair. And I used to be walking around. You've got to be in your wheelchair. It's like, well, you know, I'm all right. You know, I'm all right at the end of the day. Oh, you're having stem cell treatment? Yeah, yeah. You know, so and it's but obviously it's different for everybody. You know, some of the people there are a lot weaker and but I went there in peak condition, knowing in November. I knew I was going to Mexico, so then I worked from November to prepare myself. I put on 20 kilos in weight, so I knew the chemo would wipe it out of me. So I put 20 kilos on to give my body the best preparation to have it. Hydration.
20 kilos the right way,
You
right?
know,
It
you know
wasn't it
what?
wasn't donuts and snacks, right?
No. All I did was I did increase my protein,
Right.
me drinking my water. I was drinking lots of water, obviously, and protein, vegetables. You know, I just doubled everything up, mate. I didn't know how much weight I was going to put on, but I'm normally 80 kilos. We get to Mexico, they weighed me. I was 100 kilos. I thought, oh, fatty. I didn't
So,
know, but I lost all that weight in 2 weeks, though, and got back down to
wow,
80 kilos.
2 weeks.
Whew.
Yeah, but that's obviously the key. Obviously, it's dehydration, but it worked because you know, it worked.
Why
Didn't it?
why are you trying to confuse our listeners by switching from stones to kilos? And like, what is this? We
No,
use
because
pounds, man.
UK, we're in stones. Mexico, we're in kilos. So it gets there, the weigh me, and it's like 100K. So I know, I know I've gone back into you know, converted it from stones to kilos, and I'm about 80 key.
Yeah.
So I'm ever so sorry. It's like, well, it's like fishing. We you know, we're casting yards. You know what I mean? And then you know, it's unbelievable.
Nick, have
Weighing
you ever been
pounds.
fishing? Nick, have
Me,
you been fishing before?
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm a big
Oh,
fan. I've been
easy there.
I love surf fishing, uh bass fishing growing up, trout
yeah,
fishing, just
yeah,
loving it. You know, it's Terry, it's not always about catching the fish. It's just about sitting and being, you want to talk about mindful meditation and being present, go fishing for a few hours.
yeah. Well, we go for days and weeks and not even have a bite, living in a tent.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's about the
No.
friends you make on the way. It's all the experience. It's not just a case. It's everything. It's the old family, and
Hmm.
you know the community in fishing is good. So there's some bad like, but you know 99% of it's good people.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
story, man. Holy
I know.
moly.
Yeah, yeah.
What's ahead of you? What's life looking like after isolation?
Isolate, good, really good. I mean, to be fair, his first thing I do is get back to work.
Okay.
What that work is going to be, I don't really know. Like, so I mean, I work in the fishing industry as well. Like, so I, I work on the crew on a TV show, and you know, we'll see where it goes at the end of the day. Obviously, my friends are in, you know, my friends who do the TV show are friends as well. Like, so it's just where just see where it goes at the end of the day. I've got not, you know, doing anything. There's a fishing company that I do, you know, do work for as well. So, and then it's a case of do that. But I'm going to do everything on my own terms now.
Right.
I've had my missus's business. It won Small Business of the Year in the UK, Rising Star in the UK, and then but with me being away from it's obviously we've had to have an investors come in basically,
Sure.
and it's like yeah, investors come in and we've we it's going in the right direction, should we say now? Like so,
That's
so
good to hear.
we'll see where that takes us, and it's a case of life on my own terms and around me
Yeah.
is staying stress free as well, isn't it? So
Right. Right. And that's the key.
yeah, yeah,
In the beginning of this conversation, like half an hour ago, you said that now you've gone to fresh vegetables. It used to be frozen vegetables.
yeah.
Do you remember? I'm confused. Why is it okay now to go to fresh rather than frozen? That confused me.
Yeah, well, it is because I had all my soups made, but it's the protocol. It's something to do with them being on the shelf, people handling them, and then from the frozen vegetables are picked and frozen nearly straight away. You see, so it's to do with that, and then obviously all your vegetables have to be cooked thoroughly through as well. You see, so overcooked, but
yeah. I was thinking it was something like that. I was just wanting
yeah.
to hear it from you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's like same as like all your meats have got to be fresh, not it's all fresh. No, everything's got to be cooked. You can't have deli meats and stuff like that. Everything's got to be fresh as you can, like so. Fruit, yeah, you can have a banana or avocado.
And this
Or
is all
two, or
advice
two
given to
fruit.
you from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
specialists? Okay.
yeah. You get a pack when you leave and say like, this is your neutropenia protocol. This is what you can and can't do. And stick to it. You got to stick to it. It's your life, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of fast food and trans fats and.
Well, I've not had fast food or anything for 2 years anyway, since 2021. I don't drink. I don't eat fast food. Don't eat chocolate. Don't eat sweets. Don't eat any processed foods.
What about your son?
My son?
Yeah.
No, he's off processed foods. Obviously, you can't just wipe him out of sugars or anything. But
Yeah.
he watches in, and obviously I feel a bit guilty now. Is we used to force him to eat a Brussels, yeah. Another tip for everybody: get an IgG intolerance test. It tells you all the foods you're allergic to and outside influences. So we've all had the IgG intolerance test. It comes back. He's allergic to Brussels. So when we begin the Brussels and he's being sick, it's like bad parent skills. You know what I mean? So,
did you hear that, Nick? He used to make him eat Brussels. It's just funny because my partner, her father made her eat Brussels too growing up.
Yeah, probably finding allergic to him and everything.
I don't know.
But mate, it's good to my
Poor
missus.
guy.
My missus is actually allergic to salmon and tuna, her two favourite meats.
Oh no.
Yeah, and white sugar, dairy, and gluten.
So you do this IgG test to find out that you're allergic to salmon. Does she realize like, oh, that's why I'm getting the sweats, or that's why I'm getting nauseous?
Yeah, well, it's inflammatory, isn't it? Like, so
it's all about inflammatory. Yeah.
So she's only just in the last 4 weeks started doing this. You see, so it's going to take you a while for your body to adjust to everything that we're doing. It's like myself. If I eat anything that I shouldn't do, I can tell. I write everything I eat in a diary, everything. So if I feel bad the next day and I try something, it's like, well, I had it once when I was getting tinglings back in my fingers and stuff. And I basically had too much natural sugars like oranges, bananas, and I tell you what it was. It was grapes. I didn't realise grapes and apples, they fed sugars to make them taste nice. And I was eating loads, summer, and I had like a full pudding of grapes. Next day, I'm tingling my fingers. So I did actually sent it to Dr. Ashton Embry, Matthew's dad. He says, right, it sounds like you've had too many sugars because they're actually processed foods. Have a shot of apple cider vinegar. I had a shot in the night time, a shot in the morning. It's completely solved it. And then obviously I've never touched grapes again, basically. So grapes or apples. What they call them apples they had? Pink lady apples. It was called.
Oh, I know those apples. Yeah. You're making me realize that I think I have too many apples because I know it tastes so sweet. And sometimes, man, don't shame me, but sometimes I'll have 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Like
that's the addiction. That's what you need to do. That's the addiction. It's the same as sweets and everything.
Yeah.
You get addicted to them, and it's a case of it's hard.
Can someone become like, I don't know why we're going off topic here, but can someone become diabetic off eating too many apples?
I don't know.
I mean, it's natural sugars, but
but again, it's the case of my body noticed it, and it was down to too much sugars.
Yeah.
Of the wrong variety, basically. Like so, I eat oranges and other fruits.
Yeah.
It's like mangoes and whatever's avocado. I have two avocados every day, and lion's mane, and that is to speed up my healing process. I do that all the time anyway. Like so, that's just off recommendations from
Yeah.
looking on these health experts on social media and whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, Terry, to answer your question, to your point, I would imagine anything, no matter how you ingest it, that overloads your insulin production can cause diabetic issues,
Yeah,
whether it's refined sugar or natural sugar. But again, not a doctor.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is it? No, we're not experts like, but again, it's you listen to your own body, don't you? End of the day,
Right.
and it's like,
Yep.
I mean, I've never had sugars in sweets or anything in 2 years, and once you get over that initial craving, it's like it's your social influence outside. Oh, I bet you've got them. Everyone says to me now because I don't drink, I don't do, I don't do what other people do. It's my life. It's like, oh, you got the crap life.
Hmm.
You got no, you aren't drinking. You don't eat this. You don't eat that. You're restricted by this. I'm actually having the best life I've ever had. MS. I always say this. MS is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. I
Dude.
was, I was 200 odd, whatever it was, pounds, kilos, or whatever. I'm now fit as a fiddle, can do stuff with my son, and I live the best life ever.
Nick, man, how many times have you heard this before?
Every time. Every time somebody comes to the point in their story where they get to the realization that I'm now in charge. I now get to call the shots for my own body. I get to say no, the freedom to say no to other people and to situations that are not the best for me is
Yeah,
so liberating that you just see the smile on people's faces. Like when I'm watching you saying I'm living my best life. And who would have thought all it took was a shotgun blast looking brain
yeah,
and you'd be on the path to your best life. It's amazing.
yeah. Best life. It's not just everything I'm doing in that life. I love everything.
Right. Right.
I would say it's everything. Is what I, I'm ashamed of what happened in my previous life. The previous 30 odd years up to me getting MS or died MS like, but up to the realization I got it and the change. The 3 months of change after, it's been the best thing I've ever done in my life. It's not just only benefited me. It's benefited for my friends and my family and those really close to me who actually,
Mhm.
mean something. So
Well said, man.
yeah,
Jeez.
Well said.
So the advice is do your research, be in the best shape you can be,
yeah,
and if it's right for you, go for it
yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah, just
That's
do research. Yeah, don't be research. Don't just research the negative stuff. I said, I'm sorry. Everything you see on social media is all the bad points of MS. I'm fatigued. I'm this. I'm that, and it's like I'm disabled. It's hard. I'd understand them people that are going through a crisis, but it's too much bad news and not enough good news. If that
you're
makes sense.
absolutely right.
You know what I mean? You see every post about MS, it's something negative. Yeah. Oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to give you something positive. Look at me, living proof. There you go.
There he is, living proof, especially here in the States when every other commercial is about a medication that has 90 side effects and they say, "Oh, you have MS. In order to be your best version, you need to be on this drug."
Yeah.
And here you are, proof that not
I'm not the
necessarily the case.
I'm not the only person. You got
Right.
Matthew, and then there's half. There's at least 5 or 6 others like us as well. What's her name? Angie. Yeah, Angie, who's she. You look at her. You look at the. She's like. I mean, she's Mrs. Fitness. But she's not at HSCT. She's the fitness route altogether. Like so. So my biggest downside, he had 20 years of misdiagnosis, and it's like
Mm.
my fear is in my brain is if it happens again, will I ever recover? Will I be fit enough to recover? So
Yeah.
I want to give
I,
my.
I hate to say this because it's generally it comes out like a compliment, but sometimes it's not. But you look great right now. You look
Oh,
great. Your ambiance, everything about you right now. You look like you have
yeah,
color. Or,
yeah,
if I were to approach you and be
yeah.
honest with me, yeah, you
You,
have no hair yet. Are you gonna
yeah,
grow the hair first of all, or is
yeah,
this your
yeah.
new look?
No,
Okay,
no, no. No
I thought you were trying to copy Nick.
we're all taking bets because obviously you get your chemo curl.
Yeah,
So is it going to come back grey? I reckon if it comes back grey, I'll be like Brian May out of Queen. If you see him now with the big
Yeah,
blonde
yeah,
hair,
yeah.
yeah. or I'm going to be Michael Jackson. So I'm going to get myself some Soul Glow
Dude.
and get myself.
So, and be honest with me, okay?
Yeah.
In 6 months, in 8
Yeah.
months, I don't know, would you be insulted if I came back to you and said, "Hey, would you like to come back on and tell us how you're feeling now?"
I'd be insulted if you didn't.
All right, man, because I don't want it to be like you're hoping for me to fail. No, we just want to hear it from your perspective because I don't know anyone personally. You're the first person.
In 6 to 8 months, I might be in Canada. Coming knocking on your door.
Dude, I got a spot right here for you. But the last person that said that never ended up coming. But anyway, I got a spot for you right here, man. If you want to be on our show,
Well, I was filmed for Living Proof 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm included in it yet. Like Matthew says, I am with my family, but
yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's at home. There's a camera crew in my house filming me about what I'd done prior to HSCT. So that's been filmed and documented. So we'll see if that comes on. Anyway, I've always wanted to go over and say thank Dr. Ashton Embry and his dad. I mean, I've seen Matthew anyway. But go and give his dad a shake his hand basically and just thank him face to face. Nothing. Face to face. Thank Matthew, his lovely wife, and just go and see a bit of Canada. I know, something to pop over and see. Take my fishing rods for the St. Lawrence River, and away we go.
Nice.
I don't know if there's a spot to fish here in London, Ontario, where I'm from. Not London, England, because
don't worry, I know anglers all over the world. So
okay. So you never know, man.
My friend Ali Amidi, who works on he fished. He does all the TV shows. He'll know somebody who can help me. So,
okay, Lee, I cannot wait to have you back on the show.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming on here. I know it was short time notice when I asked you to come on.
It's no problem.
Dude, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you got to meet Nick.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, Nick, sir. Yeah, so if anybody needs to reach out to me and ask me personally, I answer everybody who contacts me on social media. I mean, when I say everybody, I mean everybody. It's I try and I give them my and if they contact me, we'll talk by thingy, and I always phone them back live if I can. Do a FaceTime with them and I reach out because reaching out, people who's reached out to me have always, that's why I reach out to everybody else. So.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, sir.
No problem, sir.
Lee, we'll talk soon, man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4-T-below-zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.